Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Teach Me Tech. I'm your host, Laurel Gray, and I'm joined today by Pete Sutton. Pete is what's your title, Pete?
Officially strategy director, but that's just what we call ourselves to make ourselves sound important.
Okay, he's the all-encompassing wonderful person over at a business called the Saltwater Collective, doing branding and sort of agency work.
That's right.
Cohesive agency work all across digital. And he's here to share with us today how to get started with AdWords. And I'm particularly excited about this topic because I don't know anything about it. So should we find out what we're going to cover in today's episode?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. How to get started with AdWords. And what we're going to cover is, what is paid search? Why use AdWords? Setting up your AdWords account. Understanding the dashboard. Keyword research and the keyword tool. Ad specifications and best practice. Understanding campaign hierarchy and structure, which I didn't even know existed. I can't wait to find out about that. Setting up campaigns and ad groups. And finally, conversion tracking and reporting, so you know that you're actually getting some results out of your ad. So let's get started. And Pete, I'm just going to kind of throw this whole conversation over to you. You know that I'm a systems person. So if you talk to me about systems, I totally get it. So what is paid search? Explain it, basics.
Paid search is any activity that you implement from a marketing perspective that makes your website more visible within search engines. You'll notice when you go on Google or you go on Bing and you're looking for a service or you're looking for a product, you'll type your search query into the search bar. And at the top of those search results, you'll see a few ads floating around. That there is paid search. That's search engine marketing, and advertisers are paying for the privilege to have that space above the organic results there.
Okay. And is it just that's the only kind of paid search that we have online, or?
That's the primary form of paid search is within the search engines. There's other forms of paid advertising through the Facebooks and the social media paid advertising and LinkedIn. But when we're referring to paid search, we're specifically referring to the results when we're dealing with search engines.
All right, awesome. So one of the things that comes up a lot for me, people ask, paid search, you can go really wrong. It's a very tricky thing to go into if you don't have the right tools and techniques. So what are some of the things that happen if you don't invest the time in learning about paid search before you invest?
That's right. You'll hear a lot of small business owners talking anecdotally about losing a lot of money on paid search and AdWords in particular, or they think it's a complete waste of time, waste of money. And it's usually because they don't have the basics in place. It's the little things like getting your campaign structures right, making sure that you're targeting the right people, making sure that you're only appearing for the relevant searches that make all the difference in the campaign. You'll find the guys who are wasting their money are probably just going out a bit too broad and a bit too scattergun and not really picking up the relevant sort of search. And as a result of that, they're chewing through their budgets far too quickly.
One thing that people say to me a lot is, it seems pretty easy. And as we'll find out and we go through a demo, it is quite simple. You just log in, you put in your credit card details, and all of a sudden you're on Google. And for a lot of people, that's appealing.
Oh yeah, Google, they're not going to stop you from taking their money, you know what I mean? They're going to make it as simple as possible. And, they've got big teams working behind the platform. So it is quite an intuitive interface. You just need to know, I guess, the basics about how to get around it and the common pitfalls that people fall into when they're starting up the AdWords campaign.
So with that said, is it something that you recommend people always get started on their own, or do you sometimes recommend that they will work with an advertising specialist?
I would generally recommend, working with a specialist especially to get the campaign set up and get it structured correctly. After that, you might want to take it back on your own and manage the campaign yourself if you've got the time for that. But it's usually one of those things that an AdWords specialist, someone who's been working with the platform for a number of years, will be able to set up in a better fashion, and it's going to save you money in the long run because you're not going to be wasting money on a relevant search.
That's really good for you to say. So I guess we want to frame up this whole episode just by letting you know it's good to go and get some advice if you're doing this for the first time, because it can be a little bit deceivingly easy to do.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or don't invest a lot, or definitely follow all the way to the end of this episode so that you know about the conversion tracking and reporting, so you know if you're getting your return on investment or not.
Perfect.
Yeah, anything else that we want to tell people about before they continue?
No, let's move on.
All right, cool. So keep in mind, I don't know really anything about the whole advertising world. You've taught me a lot about AdRoll before. I'm just wondering, why specifically would we use AdWords?
AdWords is the largest search network available in the world. So it's part of the Google network. So we know when people have an issue or they want to search something, everyone just Google it. It's part of the vernacular now. So it's got the biggest spread. The other key thing, and the reason why we like to use it over the likes of Facebook advertising and other social media advertising, is you're getting your message in front of your target market right at their time of need. So if we give the example of maybe a massage therapist, if someone's typing in Google massage therapist Sydney, we can pretty safely assume they're looking for a massage in Sydney at that. It's pretty
probably
obvious.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going out with just putting an advertising campaign together and they're not really in that time of need, it's a bit hit and miss. The other thing we've found, especially in sort of service-based businesses, is it gets your business in front of a network of people that you probably wouldn't have had access to otherwise. So most businesses, when they're starting out, they'll rely on that referral network, and it'll be their clients referring additional people into the network, and so you end up with kind of the same level of clients coming in and out of the business. AdWords allows your website to take over and position your business in a way that allows you to attract those bigger and better customers. Another reason is you get that instant traction. So if you're doing an organic SEO campaign, it can take up to 6 months before you start getting any traction from that. And it's quite expensive, as I'm sure anyone who's ever spoken to an SEO specialist would vouch for. So the AdWords, by using AdWords, you can just you'll set up your campaign, and your ads can literally be attracting new clients within that same day. You're only paying for success as well. So you're only paying when someone clicks on your ad. You're not paying for just the impressions or the visibility on search engines. And as a result of that, also, it makes the campaigns are really highly measurable. So we can track every click that comes to the website, and we can see where they're ending up and if they're actually converting into inquiry or customers, which means we can optimize campaigns and make them even more efficient after that. And lastly, the key benefit of it is it's pretty low maintenance once it's all set up and good to go. It might take a couple of hours, a fortnight, just to maintain it.
Wow. So there are tons of benefits, it sounds like, with AdWords. And a couple of them that you mentioned that really resonated with me is, first of all, you're getting people at that exact point of sale. That's super important, especially if you're launching a new product or you want to really specifically test something new, if you're in the service industry, for example. And secondly, it's that getting out of your kind of comfort zone around your customer base. Because I know that everybody does that when you start a business. You kind of creep out, you recommend it to friends, and then the customers refer it on. And you forget that actually you could be up-leveling and working with a totally different tier of customers.
Yeah, 100%. Your CEO down to your secretary are all on Google searching for products and services. So it gives you a really good opportunity to get to everyone within that scope.
Yeah, so awesome. I love the way that you put all of that because it motivates me as someone who's not really in that space of marketing and advertising to go, okay, well, I feel a little bit more confident knowing that I'm going to get those tangible results from the campaign. Is there anything else that we missed?
I think that about covers it, but yeah, that's pretty comprehensive. So yeah.
Now, and you're in an agency sort of space. Do you use AdWords for your business?
100%. It's probably, I'd say, after referrals, which you always want your referrals to be your biggest source of leads coming into the business because it means you're doing a good job. But after that, our biggest source of leads comes through our AdWords campaigns. So we'll run AdWords with remarketing campaigns, which we've done on another episode with AdRoll. But yeah, it does, and we'll find like every once a month or something like that, we'll get a customer of a level that we've probably never worked with before because we're getting access to bigger decision makers, bigger companies that we just could not get to within our network.
Yep, I love that. Everyone's on Google. Everyone's looking stuff up that way on their phone, and why not get across it? You're missing out on a huge amount of the market. Cool. All right, the last thing that we wanted to cover off on in this segment is actually getting in and just setting up the AdWords account. So are you comfortable to guide us and maybe show us the landing page of AdWords, how it works?
Sure. Let's jump onto the monitor. I might just zoom in on it.
Yep. Perfect. That's great.
Okay, so this is the AdWords landing page. So if you just type into your browser google.com/AdWords, it'll bring you to this page. And then just in the top right corner, there's a little sign in function. So in this segment, we're expecting you to have a Google account already set up. So if you haven't, go set your Google account up, and that'll allow you to use all the AdWords functionality. But we'll click sign in here. And it's just the one Google account for all the different tools within Google. So we're using our demo company and we'll sign in.
Okay, so it's basically single sign-on with your Google account. Hopefully everyone watching is already on Google Apps for Work. Sign in with your account, and then it looks really straightforward. You're just taken straight to the dashboard.
And that's it. We're signed in. We can see that. We're ready to start making campaigns and start making some magic happen.
Beautiful. Well, this is a perfect time for us to take sort of a little break. And now that we've gotten signed in, we'll let you have a look around at the dashboard. And then when we come back, we'll cover off on how you can actually get started in.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.